Hey guys, welcome back to the doremicom channel. I was really hoping to do this not in the middle of the day when sunlight from the window comes through and you can see right through my green screen. I have no idea how this is going to look, but I really don't want to refilm this. So we're just going to move forward and we're going to do a shallow, not deep dive, a shallow dive into dire foes. I will probably go into more detail on my articles that I'm posting for Bella Lost Souls. Might be up, might not be up by the time this video comes up, I don't know. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and show you guys the clip that Corvus Belli made. You might have seen it already at Bella Lost Souls, but I think it's a really good introduction into talking about what we got here, okay? So let's get to it.
The mission packs are the new special Infinity release, and they're special because they're not like any Infinity product previously released. Honouring their name, the mission packs are a product released to play missions, containing a scenario and the opposing dire foe troops required to play it. Each of these dire foe mission packs includes 2 new special characters, belonging to different and hostile armies, and also a civvy model, an excellent choice to use when playing scenarios. As those figures are special characters, the Corvus Belli concept designers and sculptors didn't hesitate when applying all their magic and skills to make sure these models are awesome, and some of the finest models in the entire Infinity range. But the mission packs don't stop there, because in each mission pack a download code is included, which will allow you to download the mission dossier completely for free. A PDF file with plenty of full-color pictures and illustrations, providing not only the troop profiles and backgrounds of the dire foes, the special characters, and the civvies in the boxes, but also an exclusive official Infinity scenario with developed backgrounds that are a sneak peek of future events, and a narrative mode so you can play them freely or just recreate one of the incidents from the Infinity Universe history. The mission packs also include 5 special postcards, including full-color artwork with the pin-up illustrations and the concept designs of the 2 dire foes included in that mission pack. Infinity mission packs, a complete deluxe release you cannot miss.
Welcome back, welcome back. We're going to be talking about troop profiles. And before we go too far, there's a big question that I think a lot of people are going to have. I'm going to go ahead and answer it right here, and that is, can you take the dire foes as they're listed here in an ITS tournament? And the answer is yes, you can. The other piece of information is, but doremicom, what new rules do I have to know in order to take these people into an ITS tournament? And honestly, out of the new profiles that they've released that you can find online, which by the way, you can find this at infinitythegame.com. Link is in the description area below. And so you can just print this out for yourself. But of the new profiles that they've listed, there's 2 that are missing, okay? Of the profiles that they've listed on the site, there's only 1 new rule that you have to know about as far as the dire foes are concerned. And that is K1 ammunition. Now, K1 ammunition is just a souped up armor piercing, okay? So when you fire a K1 weapon at an opponent, you act as though they have no armor. But your damage of your weapon is set at 12. So if I have a K1 HMG, yes, I might have burst 4 and I might have those really nice range bands that an HMG has, but my damage is 12 and it's not 15. But my opponent gets no armor. So, really good against really heavy hitting opponents. Maybe not so good if your opponent fields a bunch of guys who only have armor 1 anyways. You might be overpaying to get the K1 ammunition. Be really curious to see if anyone other than Combined Army gets this ammunition. Thus far, for the dire foes, the only one who has this is the Onyent dire foe. So I told you that there's 2 profiles missing, right? If you want to know what those are, you can't find them online from infinitythegame.com under new profiles, but you can go over to Covenant TCG. Those guys are freaking awesome. Met them at Gen Con 2013. Really, really classy guys. They even sent me a thank you card for being in their videos. So while you're over at Covenant TCG, if you want to get some more doremicom, you can also check out the video that I did with them at Gen Con, which was my Infinity demo. But if you want the profiles, the 2 profiles they're missing, head on over and check out this other video by them. And it actually goes into the 2 troops. They do a fairly decent dive, long video, kind of like looking through everything that surrounds not only the models, but the entire Direfolk pack for those 2 particular models. Anyways, fantastic group. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at the profiles. Now, the first thing is that a Direfolk pack will come with 2 models that, when on face value, if you've been playing the game for a while, these guys kind of look like Spec Ops. But I will tell you right now, I took the first 2 and I tried to create Spec Ops that modeled after them, and there was always equipment or gear or skills or something where I couldn't get them to look identical to this, because I wanted to see if the XP varied between the models. I gotta be honest with you. So they're like Genesis from Spec Ops, but you can't possibly create these profiles with Spec Ops. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, I'm just saying it is what it is. So the first Direfolk pack that we're going to take a look at is the one that includes Keisatsu Yuriko Oda and Volunteer Isobel McGregor. These 2 models, I think hands down they're incredibly interesting, but let's start with the Keisatsu. First off, you're taking a Keisatsu and bumping up their ballistic skill to 12. That is a massive improvement over a base Keisatsu. You're also giving them -3 BTS, applying the engineer tag to it so that now Yuriko is going to go out into the field and claim those mission objectives for you. She's got Hyperdynamics 1, so as she's darting across the field, she might be able to dodge a little bit better, getting to where the missions are. But she is starting with a PH of 11, so with Hyperdynamics 1, it's only bumping up to a 14 for her dodge. She is a mine layer though, so right off the bat, if you're worried about some AD deployment, all of a sudden drop a mine so that you can kind of cover your flanks. And she has 2 troop profiles. In fact, both for this particular set have 2. And but honestly, for only 1 point difference, and if you guys think differently, let me know. But I'm thinking if I'm going to spend 23 or 24 points for her, which I think is a pretty good deal, I'm going to be taking the 24.1 with a Panzerfaust over an emitter any day of the week. If you guys have some reason, like you vets out there watching this video, you're like, no, emitter all the way. Explain to me why you would pick that over the Panzerfaust. I'm sure it's going to be something to do with, doing the whole electromagnetic damage, shutting people down, maybe. But for only 1 point difference, I would be taking the Panzerfaust every time. So I can start on my end of the table, rocket launch Panzerfaust models far away as I'm running up the field, dodging, getting to my objective, cranking out, rolling the engineer roll, getting the suitcase or whatever that I have to get for the mission, and running back. It's a solid take, especially if I'm going to an ITS and I'm running either Yujing or JSA. Those are the only 2 army lists that you can take her in. So like I said, you can take these in ITS, but it has to match whether or not, they're in your faction or sectorial. So then we have Isobel McGregor. And she also has 2 different stat lines. She can be taken with Vanilla Ariadna or the Scotsman. Although the big irony is that she fills a void that Ariadna has by being a defensive hacker. But really the only thing that you can hack right now in Ariadna would be the Anaconda tag that you can only take with the Merovingians. So, her usefulness would be massive for the Merovingians, who are going to now be able to bring this Anaconda tag, which is outside the scope of this video, but we will go over that in a future video. So yeah, Isabel McGregor, you're going to be paying that extra half a SWC. I'm almost guaranteeing that's specifically because she's a defensive hacker, because her weapon out, profiles don't really scream that it's, I don't know. So you can either take her with a rifle or a T2 rifle. Honestly, I'm going to take the smaller cost, the 23 points. Take the rifle because it also comes with an assault pistol. So now, if I'm well versed in what 8 inches of range is, I can whip out the assault pistol, do some pretty significant damage at 8 inches, and then from 8 to 16 have a standard rifle and be good to go. Plus, at a cheaper cost, I just don't think that the T2 rifle makes much sense in this particular case. Now, from her spec, starting at a volunteer, her having a ballistic skill of 12 makes taking any rifle worthwhile, because a standard volunteer, I think their base ballistic skill is 10. This is a much better profile for her. She also has 2 armor, but just like most Ariana, no BTS. So you're going to be taking that kind of damage directly. Honestly, out of the 2, I would say the Yuriko Oda, considering they're both going to be mission grabbers, one being the defensive hacker, one being the engineer. I just think the Yuriko Oda at 24 points with the Panzerfaust, mines, mine layer, hyperdynamics engineer versus the defensive hacker who, it's not like Yuriko's heavy infantry, and I don't even think a defensive hacker could hack heavy infantry. So so out of the 2 profiles, I'm going to say I'm going to give the nod to Yuriko, but I would take either of these. I would take either of these in an ITS mission. I'm really curious to see what the mission looks like once we get the dire foes with these 2 models in it.